we're working on blowing you away. Ira Cross, first mic. Our host is me, but our guest is Andrew Rudick. He'll blow you away. This is a terrible ad for this thing. Don't pay me, please. Anyways, like I said, my name's Ira Cross. This is First Mic, where we talk to comics about their first time on stage. Andrew, I'm sorry about this intro, but Andrew Rudick, ladies and gentlemen, he's fantastic. Play the beat. I'm embarrassed. Well, as you just heard, we have the amazing, the wonderful Andrew Rudick, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. I'm going to get right into the first question, man. What made you get into comedy?
My sister. So
Makes sense.
yeah. I was going to school to be an English teacher, English professor. And my sister was doing sketch out in New York. This was like 15 something years ago,
No shit.
right? And this was before social media. People were like doing sketch all over social media.
Yes.
She was doing live sketch in New York City,
Oh, okay,
all
okay.
over. And she was making some videos and putting them on YouTube and stuff. And
Right.
I was just kind of getting disillusioned with my own career path. And I saw what she was posting was so funny and so good. And I always loved stand-up. I always loved comedy movies.
Right.
And me and my sister growing up, we've always been really close, and we would always like make sketches for our parents, and like I would shoot dumb little sketches on like VHS camcorders, right? And then I had a buddy a very good friend of mine, who convinced me to like try it.
Sure.
Because he wanted to try it too.
Yeah.
So my buddy Sean. But yeah, it was mostly my sister. And she was just doing sketch, and I was like, I'm going to try stand-up, that format. I don't really like the group format of sketch. And then I just kind of fell in love with it. And she eventually moved to LA and started doing stand-up after me. Yeah. And then she blew up with all of her character stuff.
She did blow up.
Yeah.
I remember when we met. So for those that don't know, I remember we met on set for an Ohio Lottery commercial.
Yeah.
Which was so much fun.
It was so fun.
Shout out Moneyball.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't break in.
Through,
right. Just come through the window and be like, Moneyball.
Yeah.
Come on. So for those that haven't seen it, an Ohio Lottery commercial with Moneyball busting through the walls. But yeah, we met on set. And you were talking about your sister, and I'm just like, why does her name sound so familiar? You showed me, I was like, oh, I love her stuff.
Yeah,
like, you know, so it's really great to see you guys like do stuff, and more importantly, I love seeing you guys collaborate on stuff. Like the one thing I think you have it pinned on your profile of you two talking about like your mom and dad and what they call you like she said Randy Newman.
My mom calls me Paul Newman, and she mistaked me for Randy Newman. Yeah, so we do
hilarious.
We do when we perform together. We'll do like Q&As after our sets, which are really fun because we have just very similar. We have a crazy mom, and then we have different like sort of perspectives on her, and we have just so much shared experience and in comedy and life.
Right.
So it's always makes for good content.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff. It's just cool. I mean, it's always cool to me to see, speaking of siblings, just a different perspective you have on the same person. You're meeting your parent. Like me and my sister are the same way. Like we both have a lot of like similar views on my mom, which shout out to my mom because she's going to watch this because she watches all of them.
Nice.
So she's going to be like, what are you about to say about me?
Yeah.
All bad stuff. She was here on stage with us, and she was talking shit to me to my face. So this is my show. But no, it's just funny to hear like my sister say some things about my mom that are very much the same and that I would say, and then vice versa. I'd be like, nah, that's not what I'm seeing, homie. Yeah. So it is really cool to like see siblings have a different perspective of parents.
Yeah.
But that's dope. So, but have you? So okay. So you are actually based in Cincy.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we have folks here that are based in Columbus. So, have you been in Cincy that whole? Like, did you grow up in Cincy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Lived there pretty much my whole life. I was born in Youngstown, but we moved to Cincy when I was 2. So it's everything I remember is Cincinnati.
Got you. So your parents from Youngstown? Because I'm from Youngstown. That's why I say that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Where they from? Boardman, I want to say.
Of course they are.
Yeah. I think. I don't know the areas very well. Like I have some family there, but I'm not familiar with it.
No, that's dope. Well, shout out to Youngstown again.
Shout out to Youngstown.
I don't it keeps coming up, Brandon.
Yeah.
It just keeps coming back to haunt me. Like to haunt me.
Yeah.
But no, that's dope. So you've done most of the things you've done. It's been based out of Cincy then.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. So okay, so your sister, obviously born and raised, went there. Have you ever thought about going to LA or New York or anything like that?
Yeah, I think I've considered LA.
Sure.
I don't think I could deal with the cold and the compactness of New York and the
density of
dirtiness.
people.
Yeah. Whereas LA, like there's sunshine. But
Word.
I've thought about it, but there's just with social media and everything, you can make it anywhere. And Cincinnati is so central to so many cities to tour, to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. You're like 6.5 hours from Atlanta. You're 4.5 hours from Chicago, 9 hours from New York. And then I'm like within 2 hours of like 8 major cities that all do stand-up.
Yeah.
It's like the most central point that you can tour from in the United States.
Yep.
Like, I can't think of a better positionally. Like, I've talked to comics in every city in the country, and like, and I always ask them like, what are the closest cities to you to tour? And it's always like 4 hours is the closest major city. Whereas like, we have like Lexington's like an hour and 15 minutes from Cincinnati, Louisville's an hour and a half.
And truthfully, even like New York is really not that far.
Yeah. It's like 9 hours.
Really. Yeah. Like,
and here, like this scene is amazing. Yeah. And it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Exactly.
So. And
then you're a little bit further, like you said, Cleveland, Columbus. Indy. Yep. Indy. Yeah. Yeah. We had Jessie Sisson on. She was saying the same thing about being pretty central in Columbus. But I would argue that Cincy gives you more because, like you were saying, you can go further south. A few different spots. Yeah. But I mean, even something is like, you got all the spots in Ohio, which you got Dayton, you got Columbus, like you said, Cleveland, Toledo, if you want to go that far, north, Pittsburgh. Like, it's a lot, man. Even spots in West Virginia. Like, there's some things like Wheeling isn't a bad town.
For sure. It's close. Charleston.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you could go to WVU and potentially do something there, I'm sure. So there's a lot of stuff that, like, there's a lot of cities that are close, making Cincy central, which is, and then you have Cincy.
Yeah. Like, 100%.
So that's pretty sweet. I love that. I mean, that kind of ties into, no, I mean, I already asked that question about like why Columbus, Columbus comedy is what I normally would ask people, like, why Columbus, why would you do, comedy here? But for you, it's to be Cincy. Yeah. I think that's a huge reason, and it makes so much sense. Why would you leave?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. And it's such a good scene. Much like Columbus, it's such a good scene in Cincinnati. You have a really good, like, big sort of corporate, like, A-room, both Funny Bones in Cincinnati and Columbus. By the way, the Columbus Funny Bones, the hub for all of the Funny Bones. And it's personally one of my favorite clubs in the country. It's awesome. Run so well. Like, Dustin's an incredible manager. Like, I love that club. I love it so much. And then you also have the supporting clubs here, hashtag, and you have the Attic where I'm performing tonight. Like, I love those. They're great. And Cincinnati, it's kind of the same deal. Like, you have this like really good, big room, theater style, and the Liberty Funny Bone. And then you have this new, like, amazing independent club in Commonwealth. Yeah. And then you have an independent scene on top of that. That's like, and you run amazing independent shows here.
Thanks,
so it's
man.
like, you have when you have the coalescing of all those different things. It's an independent scene, a really big, good A-room, and then independent clubs. Yeah. Like, that's what's so important to foster in a scene, and to be, like, when you're starting out, like, you need those things.
I was going to say, like, with somebody who's starting out that's new, it makes sense to see the almost like the ladder, the tiers of what you get. Because, like, I mean, let's say I'm a brand new comic and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the Funny Bone and perform and headline. No, the hell you're not.
Yeah, you're not even going to get on stage when you're new, right? But
you shouldn't.
You
shouldn't.
Yeah. So, but, like, you can get a shot at an independent club or like an independent showcase. You can get up, or or maybe even just a mic, but still, like,
for sure,
whatever stage time you can get. It's yeah.
I think that's super important to have that. I feel like hierarchy is not the right word, because that makes it sound like gatekeeping in a negative way, but it's like quality control. Quality control. Like, because I mean, let's think about this. If you're a person that's paying for a ticket to go to the Funny Bone, you want good comedy. And you expect it. It also is the reputation of the Funny Bone. Both of them. 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're bringing you good quality comedy. Yeah. Unless it's an open mic, which even then, though, you're like, I'm on this stage at the Funny Bone. I got to bring it.
Yeah, the manager might be here. Like, literally. Staff might say something to the manager. Yep. But I think it is a hierarchy. Like, I don't think that sounds gatekeeping. Like, that's what it is. It's, Yeah.
And I mean, and it should be just for the positive aspect of for the positive growth of the scene.
Yeah.
Right. Not just growth for growth's sake, but growth for, like, we're getting quality comedy. We're building a scene intentionally in both places. So I definitely need to, like, check out the Cincy scene, just because, like, I really haven't.
It's really good. I mean, just like great comics. Like, yeah.
So now, so you're the like the seed into getting more Cincy folks up here to do the show.
Yeah, I'll be the liaison.
I love it. I
can
love
give
it.
you all kinds of good recs.
No, that's dope, man. But so we kind of touched on like, what got you into comedy. But tell us about your first mic, whether it's the first show or the first open mic. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So the first show I ever did was an open mic. It was like a general music comedy open mic at this place that doesn't exist on University of Cincinnati's campus called Baba Budan's.
Okay.
And it was this little divey bar. And we used to go there all the time to hang out. And my buddy Sean convinced me to go up, and he was going to go up too. So we both went up.
Okay.
He went on stage and I heckled him, which is fucking insane in retrospect.
Yes, it is.
Right? Like, I've been doing it like 15 years now, and like, I hate hecklers so much. It's the worst group of human beings to disrupt a show. And here I was as a brand new trying to be a comic.
Yes.
But I think I excused it because it was a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
And we just had that relationship. But still, like, it's horrific looking back, right?
Yeah.
So I went up and I thought I did great. And in retrospect, I'm like, I fucking bombed. It was the worst material ever. But my friends were there, so they were all laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time I went up, we both went up there again. Okay. And my friend threw a banana at my face on stage as payback, right? Because I heckled him. And it got the biggest laugh of my set. And deservedly so, because I didn't have any jokes at the time.
Right,
it was all
right.
Like,
oh my gosh, that's funny. The scales have been balanced.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember what you said to him when you heckled him?
I know, I don't.
I was like, that's a while ago.
I don't. I was an alcoholic too. Like, I don't drink anymore, so I was just like sloppy drunk and like, yeah.
Got you.
I don't know. I
Got
was
you.
a mess.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I hope we get to. I'm just gonna skip to it. So. One of the like rapid fire questions we have is like, what's the best way you deal with hecklers?
Yeah,
so like, since you brought that up, I just got to ask you, what's the best way that you deal with hecklers now?
Yeah, well, it's hard. I think it's like, it takes a real skill. And one thing that took me so long to learn is that like, I'm a person that's like, I'm fiery. I kind of got to lose like a short fuse.
Sure.
Right. And when for the first like several years, I would get so upset by it. It would rattle me, and I would get mad.
Yeah.
And I would lash out. Shut the fuck up, like that's like the worst thing that you can do in the world, because the second that you are outwardly upset on stage, you automatically lose, because the audience, nobody wants to see that, right? Nobody wants to see the clown get angry. That's not your job.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you need to be in control and be calm. And now, like, I get upset, I get mad, but I'm like, we're both actors, right? I've learned to like mask it and cover it. You have to like appear calm, because the second that the audience is cued into the fact that you're upset or mad, it's over. The heckler won, right? So like, that's the first thing, is like, you have to either be calm or be a good enough actor to pretend like you're calm.
Yeah.
And then like, I feel like, the one thing that's key is that you have to have won the audience over.
Okay.
Right? Like, I went on stage like a few months ago, and a guy immediately heckled me.
Damn.
Like 15 seconds into my set. He was just blackout drunk, right? And he was like, tell a joke. And I was like, I'm trying. Like, I just got up here. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Literally.
And that was really difficult to deal with, because like, I hadn't proved to the audience it was funny yet. Right. So I didn't have any control over the room. So like, you can't like jump into a back and forth and like, quote unquote, destroy a heckler if you don't have that sort of goodwill built up. And like, if you don't have the authority that you've already established with the room, that like you are in control and this is your room right now.
Right.
So like, that was really, really hard.
Yeah.
Right. And fortunately, like, I managed to pretend like I was calm, and I couldn't really shut him down then, but then I kind of ignored them. I told some jokes, I got some laughs, I got the audience on my side.
Yeah.
And then he kept heckling, and then I shut him down.
Exactly.
And then the audience was like, but I think the other thing that you need to do is you really need to get the audience involved in it. I think that's you see this one trick that like people will do a lot that's very effective, where like, because especially if that heckler is like, if the whole audience is annoyed by that person, it makes it easier, right? Because then you can be like, hey, make some noise if you paid to see me here tonight, and then everybody will clap,
Yes.
And this is like kind of a hacky, everybody does it, but it works. It's effective. And it's like, all right, now make some noise if you paid money to hear this idiot like disrupt the show. And then it's like silence. And then like, that's like a real easy trick. But I was telling my girlfriend about this the other day. One of the worst gigs I ever did was, it was a benefit it was the Cincinnati Police Department was throwing a benefit for breast cancer awareness.
Okay.
At the casino in Cincinnati. So like so many things already that like red flags for a show to be good, right? So it was a Real Men Wear Pink breast cancer awareness sponsored by the Cincinnati Police Department. So much. Right? So much. So I already knew it was going to, like, corporate shows are never good. It's never good to perform in a casino. And I found that I've never had a good time performing in front of cops. They're not the most greatest sense of humor. And I don't want to like generalize, but for the most part,
in my experience,
some of the worst shows I've ever done have been in front of cops. Ooh. So I'm already at a net negative, and the guy hosting the show, or like the MC, was a cop, and he was on stage with like DJ. I guess he was a DJ on the side. He had DJ equipment and he had a microphone, right? And so before I go on stage, the person running the event's like, do you want to wear this pink shirt? This Real Men Wear Pink. I'm sure. I'd love to support breast cancer, right? Awareness. Jesus Christ.
I got you. I hope everybody else who was listening and watching was like, I know what he means.
Yeah. 100%.
That one commenter like, what do you mean you support breast cancer?
Yeah, you get that one troll.
Really, dude?
Yeah. So this dude is drunk by the time I get on stage. This MC, who's also a cop, who's like supposed to be like, and it's like 7 p.m., right? And I get up there. He immediately starts heckling me. And I have to be clean too. Like, this is a corporate thing. So I'm like being clean. And again, I have none of the things that you need to like destroy a heckler. I don't have the audience on my side. The audience is full of his friends.
Yes.
Right? So I haven't proven that I'm funny because it's a bad show anyways. Mm-hmm. I can't really prove that I'm funny. No. This guy is drunk heckling me.
Yes.
Like from the get-go. And he says, he's like, nice pink shirt, pussy. And I'm like, are you really heckling the pink shirt at the Real Men Wear Pink breast cancer awareness event that you are emceeing? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right? So he's heckling me.
My God.
And I'm trying to go back and forth, but like I don't have the audience on my side. No. The other thing that's important with hecklers is like you have a microphone. The heckler doesn't. That gives you a power leveraging over them. Yes. This motherfucker had a microphone. Right? So I'm like, goodness. It's like fucking, a roast show all of a sudden where I have to be clean and I have none of these tools at my disposal. And it culminates with like, he gets up in my face and has to be like separated from me by the other cops. So now I have to finish this 15-minute set.
It's 15 minutes.
Yeah. Worst set I've ever done in my life.
Oh,
like,
I bet.
Bombed so hard and just horrifying. So like that's an example of like but I think the more calm that you can actually be.
Yeah.
Because then you can be present. Like being present is so important to comedy in general and being in the room, but especially to dealing with like a heckler. So like if you're calm, you can be the most funny and you can kind of like you kind of just have to like ask them questions and get them to trip themselves up. But it's usually like a drunk idiot who's like,
who's just saying wild shit because they feel like they can.
Yeah.
Or they don't realize what they're doing in the first place.
Right.
Man, I want to hug you right now for what you went through.
Yeah.
Dude.
Man, there was just
nothing was set up for you to succeed. It was just failure step after failure step.
Yeah, it's all part of it, It's
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I will say though. I bet you, I mean, this is just me speaking for you, but you can speak for yourself on this. I bet you that's something that you've learned a shit ton from.
100%.
You're like, dude, not doing that anymore, I bet.
Yeah.
That's a big one. The other thought that I would see is like how you can potentially dress the room for you.
Yeah.
Because like, how do you do that in that situation? Like, I mean, you seem like the type of guy just from like our conversations we've had that you're introspective. You're like, okay, how do I make this situation better based off what I've learned?
Yeah.
And I can see you being like,
100%.
okay, here's all the shitty things that happen. The cops weren't on my side because they were cops, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And also they were like, you know, friends with the MC. The MC was drunk, so like nothing you can do about that because he's drunk. But like you can't address certain things. Like, I don't know, I just feel like you played it back in your head like I would have done this.
Yeah.
And I think more comics need to do that in general.
Yeah.
Not just with the shitty situation. So I think you're the kind of guy that does that. So I love that you told that story. One, because it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And two, it's a learning experience.
Yeah. And you know what the number one lesson I learned from that is that I will take from it is I will never do a benefit for a police department again.
Y'all messed up.
Yeah.
Suck, nerds.
Yeah.
You had greatness.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry you don't get peak masculinity to perform at your shows anymore.
Wearing pink shirts.
Yeah.
And called you a pussy. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
like
just crazy heckle at the event.
Yes.
The event that's like the subtext to the title is like, don't, you know, pink is not like a feminine
soft,
thing or soft
feminine
thing.
color. That's hilarious. Was he wearing pink?
Yes.
Of course he was. I'm like, maybe he wasn't, but no. Nice shirt, pussy. We're wearing the same damn shirt.
We're in the same shirt for the benefit that we're both trying to perform for.
Oh
like,
my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on to the next
cab.
I mean, especially that crowd.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I know some good cops, but not in that audience.
Those ones were bastards. That's hilarious. Not even one cop was like, dude, could you let him finish his set? Damn.
Yeah.
That's too funny. Okay. So it's kind of moving forward in our questions.
Back to pink.
I would, you know what? Now I'm mad because I had a pink shirt that I moved this one out of the way for to wear, and I should have wore it.
Yeah.
Damn. But the last like meaty question we have, what would you say to a comic, and we kind of touched on some pieces, but what would you say to a comic that is either brand new to this or somebody who might be watching and they're like, you know what, I've been interested in getting started. What would you tell them?
Yeah. So couple things. I was thinking about this. Is a good question.
Sure.
I think there's a very simple formula to getting good at stand-up comedy that's very, very difficult to execute. So the more you go up and the more that you write, the better you're going to get, period.
Yeah.
It's very, very simple, but it's hard to put that in action for me as well.
Sure.
Like the writing part is, I go up a lot, but the writing part. So I think it goes back to too, like what we were talking about geographically. Like I don't think people understand how important their local scene is. If you live in a place where you can not go up at another city that's not like 4 hours away, like you're kind of fucked. Like you really need to live in a place where like whether it be LA, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, and if it's not that, it needs to be in one of these like a Columbus or a Cincinnati. Like it has to be that. In order to get good, you need stage time. It's so important. Not everybody. There's some anomalies where some people are just like can figure it out, whatever.
Right.
But for the majority, so the other thing is so this is like advice for a newer comic, right? I would say be very wary of the advice that you get from established comics. You know, consider the source.
Sure.
I have a crazy story that when I was brand new, there was an established comic in the scene. And a lot of times the comics that when you're new, there are established comics that are good at the illusion that they're like really good or that they're plugged in or that they're like the next big thing. And you look at those guys and you're like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then after several years, you're like, that guy's a fucking idiot. Right. And he's terrible at comedy. But you think because they have this like bravado or this confidence, there's like a mirage effect that happens. Right. So when I was brand new, there was a comic. I'm obviously not going to say his name.
Sure.
But I thought like, you know, he's on all the shows. He's just like established in the scene. And I'm like, this guy is the guy.
Of course.
Yeah. So I asked him, I was like, what, do you have some advice for a new comic? I went up, I'm like really nervous. You have some advice for a new comic? He goes, yeah, quit. And I remember being like, oh, that's so disheartening. Like, that's so, you know, I was like sad, but it made me so sad.
Right.
And it's such sad advice, right?
It really is.
And it's the worst advice ever, right? Like, but then after years, I realized like this guy's such a fucking loser and he hates himself. And because he's bad at comedy and he's disillusioned by it and it's not worked out for him, this and that and whatever. So then when the pandemic, and then he kind of fizzles out, and I kind of work my way up, right? And he kind of whatever. And then in the pandemic, he moved away, right? Hadn't heard anything from him.
Right.
And then I'm performing at Commonwealth in Cincinnati, which is like one of the best clubs in the country, especially like independent clubs. And I'm at a show, and he comes up to me afterwards. I hadn't seen him in like 10 years.
Right.
And he's like, I just moved back. And he's like, I see you're still doing it. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I just moved back, and like I haven't done it in like 3 years, but I'm gonna get started again. And he was like, do you have any ideas of like people I can reach out to, or do you have any advice? And I swear every ounce in me wanted to be like, yeah, I got some advice. Quit. Right?
Hell yeah.
But I did because that's not who I am, because I'm not like that motherfucker, right? I'm not like him. So I just was like, I'm just going to be kind and like give him some real advice, and then I'm just going to trash him on a podcast.
hey, let's go. You didn't name him.
No, I didn't name him.
You didn't name him.
But it's like, Jeff Tate, who's an amazing comic, he said that as advice to me early on, where he was like, don't listen to other comedians' advice.
Yes.
I think that it truly is the best advice.
Sure.
But maybe with the caveat of like, consider the source. Like if it's somebody you really admire and that you're close to, and that is like a nice, or that you're close to, or that is a nice person, and that they're not going to like, consider that person's advice.
For sure.
If you get to work with Rory Scovel, ask him for advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ask like Jeff Tate for advice. Somebody who's like good. Don't ask, this one asshole. But also, like, this art form is constantly changing, and it's in flux. So, like, nobody really knows. There's so many different paths, and like, what was good advice 5 years ago is irrelevant today, right? Like, social media now is so much different than it was 5 years ago. So, like, the path to being successful 5 years ago is completely different than it is today. So, like, beyond like general advice about like writing and just getting up a lot, I'd say just take other advice with a grain of salt, and don't listen to anything I just said.
Skip this to now. So if you skipped all the advice to now you can start listening again.
Yes.
No, dude, I think that's great advice, because people don't realize that everything they need is, it's just so corny to say, and I don't care. Everything you need is within you already. Like you said, like the hard thing is it's simple advice, but it's hard. Write every day, or however often you can. Write often, get on stage often. Yeah. Those are the two things that make sense.
Right.
But then I think one thing as an actor that I would add, study yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
right.
It's a great number 3 that I didn't even think of. No, record your sets and watch them.
Yes, because I think people I come from. I forget, somebody else said this. I want to say it might have been Nikki Winkleman. But she had mentioned how she's great. But we had her on this past week, and she was saying how, I'm blanking on who she mentioned, but she was saying this. There's a comic that watches his stuff. He's like, it's like game film. He's an old football player. I'm like, that makes sense to me. That's how I work.
Yes.
With everything that we as the 2 seconds that I was in that Ohio Lottery commercial, I was like, all right, I'm watching myself. I'm checking it out. Could I have done anything different? Not really, because it was literally like 2 seconds. But I watched it. Like, I like to rewatch my stuff to get better. And I feel like so often people don't do that with arts.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
Not just comedy. And comedy is an art.
Yes.
Don't try and play people.
Yeah.
But no, I think people forget that is an aspect that is huge and powerful. So
it's so important.
Yes.
I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't include it. That is the third thing that I would put in what I said.
3s.
Because it's like, and like, because when I started, at the very least, audio record your sets. Even that makes a huge difference, because like how you're wording a joke, how you put one word in a different order, it can make or break a joke. And like a lot of times I'll like write a tag on stage in the moment, and then I'll forget it unless I go back and watch. And then I'm like, oh shit, I need to be saying that every single time. Or I need to like... And then, so I started out with like audio recording, and then I finally got a camera and I started video recording. And then it was like another level up, because it was like beyond the writing itself, it's like physical things that you're not even aware of, like tics that you're doing on stage. I found out that when I was talking to the audience, whenever I would do crowd work, I would, because I was uncomfortable, I would stick my right hand in my pocket. And I never even fucking noticed that I was doing it. And I would talk to someone, and I'd be like, it was like my safety blanket, like my binky, my hand in my pocket. And then like, I would be like, what? Oh, you two are together? Well, he's gay or whatever, This terrible crowd work that I was doing. And then when I got more confident, I was like, and I watched that, I'm like, take your hand out of your pocket. Stop
Yes.
calling people gay. It's
Yes.
okay if they are.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And you know what's funny is like with this, I watch every episode.
Yeah.
Like because it's beautifully edited and shot by the amazing Brett. He's pointing at me happily.
Yeah.
Am I doing good? No, no. But I watch every episode and I listen. I don't always listen to every episode, but I definitely watch because like little things like this. I'm gonna call it out. My microphone etiquette is getting better. My skills are getting better. Brandon is always like I see him in the corner and sometimes he'll be like. And I'll be like, God damn it. So like I literally have to make sure I point the microphone at my face. I hold the mic a certain way. One thing that I've been studying other hosts, like what is it like the one piece of advice that I've heard from every single host that I've looked at, watched, or studied is listen. And so I genuinely do my best to I think I'm a good listener, to be honest. I really do think that I am, but I'm like really intentional about when someone's on here and I'm listening because if I'm listening, then I'm not listening with the intention of saying the next thing. I'm listening with the intention of making sure the audience hears what you have to say. Yeah. And like I have my questions here, but I always ask questions that are not on the piece of paper that go with what we're talking about because I'm listening to what you're saying. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like that's how I study what I'm doing to get better at my craft. And I think any comic that is watching this, listening to this, that's a big piece of advice too, is like, what are you doing to make yourself better? Yes. Those things.
And along those same lines of like listening, my sister's like a very talented, established actor too. Yeah. Like that's what she wanted to do before any of this. That's what she went to school for. She's an amazing actor, and like she coaches me through like acting stuff, right? And that is always her biggest piece of advice when we're reading a scene is like you're not listening. Yes. You're thinking about the lines that you have memorized, and you're trying to do it, and then like the camera can see you're not engaged, you're not present in the scene, reacting to what somebody's saying. You're like a fucking robot trying to like cue up the next line. Yes. It's the exact same thing when you do crowd work and stand up. Like, I was
about to say that.
Yeah, you have to listen. You have to really genuinely listen because for the longest time when I was doing it, it was so bad. It's because I'm just the whole time like think of something funny, like dunk on this motherfucker or like whatever. And like that's not what it should be. It should be like Pat McGann gave me this advice. You should be genuinely interested in what the audience member has to say and keep digging. Yes. Even though you're nervous to like get a punch, like you got to keep asking questions. Yeah. And even if like something eventually will come up and if it doesn't, you just move on. Yeah. But like you don't need to like sit there and like force something because it's not going to be funny. Like it's just going to be hacky or like, you know, yeah, you really, and that goes along with being present in a room and stand up and just like feeling the energy of the room by like listening to what's going on. And
I had a comic come up to me during an open mic because we host 3 open mics as the Independent Comedy Collective. But I had a comic come up to me because like since I run them, like I don't run them, I don't host them. I just like get them together and organize them and do that. People come up to me like I'm an authority on comedy. I'm not. I mean, maybe eventually I'll be there.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there, right? Yeah, like, for sure. But he comes up to me and he's just like, hey, man, what advice do you have? And I was just like, based on what I saw and what I could compare you to other comics, you're not listening. And he was just like, what do you mean? I was like, you're performing, which is cool because like you have the material in your brain, you're getting it out. That's great. But we didn't laugh because we can see the performance in you. Yeah. Your stuff is funny. Yeah. But you're not listening to the crowd. And I was like, and you have a couple different stories you could tell because he's a storyteller. I'm like, do it. But I'm like, you're not listening to the crowd, so you're not present. And he was just like, dude, I didn't even think about it that way. And I was like, watch the comics that you feel are really good, that are in the scene or even on TV. You'll see that they're listening. Yeah. And they're present. And he was just like, damn. And he was like, you said you didn't give good advice. I was like, fuck. Yeah, I guess I do.
Yeah. And quit.
Quit right now if you're a new comic. Please don't quit. Keep going. Quit. Here's what I will say. As the guy who's never been a comic on stage, quit when you've tried it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, this ain't it. Yeah. That's all right. You tried. Yeah. Like, that's cool.
Also, there are some comedians who should quit. But you don't need to tell them that.
They'll find out, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. They probably won't because they probably aren't self-aware, which is why they need to quit in the first place. Well, ironically.
If you've been doing it for, I don't know how many years, I don't want to give a number on it. If you've been doing it for a certain amount of years and you're still just doing open mics, you should probably quit.
Yeah.
Unless you're only doing it for a hobby.
Right, yeah.
That's different. But like, if you're like, I'm going to be the best comic out there. Dog, you've been doing it for 10 years and you've yet to do a show.
Yeah. That's not good. Yeah, unless you're okay with just having fun with it and you don't have any aspirations. Yeah. But also, like, what you just said, too, is interesting to me, like, comics not being present in the room. Yeah. Like, it is so important because sometimes the crowd might be just really bad. And if you're just like going through the motions of your set and not aware that like it's not going to work in this room because the crowd is so bad, and like a skilled comic will pivot from that and be like, is everybody okay in here? Like, are you guys all right? Like the energy in here is really bad.
Sure.
And then the audience like perks up and they become like, they're like, oh, this person's in this room with us.
Yes.
And like, it just garners you more respect. And you're just like, it's a live organism. A live show is like a moving thing. It's not this like rehearsed script, you know? Yeah.
Right. And as actors, have you ever done live theater at all?
In high school.
Okay,
it's been,
same. I was high school, college. But even then, like, you notice some shows are different than other shows. Like one night it might be different than the other night. Like you might, I don't know, I'm just making this up, but like you might have a scene where like normally the person cries hysterically, but you feel like the crowd is like, nah, they're not going to be feeling that. So I'm going to be sad and upset, but it's going to be like more muted, so to speak. I don't know. It's just a difference in the vibe because you're present with the crowd. That's a real thing. And I mean, I don't know. It's just, and even like when both of us are normally on camera, whenever I'm practicing something or rehearsing something on my own, I'm always conscious of the thought that like when I'm actually present in the moment on camera, it probably won't come out exactly how I'm practicing it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just getting it familiar. I'm getting it like in my body. This sounds corny too, but I don't care. I'm getting it in my body. Yeah. So then when it's time to come out, I can be present, have that conversation, do it. I can riff and, go along with something a little bit different, but like not too far from what I'm doing. Yeah. So I think that's all important stuff.
Totally.
Yeah. But
so true.
Rapid fire questions. Yeah. Since Brandon gave me my light 10 minutes ago. No, the first question, which normally I would say Columbus, but you're not from here. You come and visit, you hang out. We love seeing you here. But who is your favorite Cincy comic, aside from yourself?
There's so many good ones. I would say right now, it's going to be Kelly Collette.
Okay.
She's just like the way that she's sort of like hustling and like she's so funny and she just like works so hard. She's like a really good model to a new comic of how you should be, like, because not only is she like naturally hilarious, but she just like works really hard. And
love that. Say her name again.
Kelly Collette.
We want to make sure we tag Kelly. Give you some props, Kelly. Maybe get you on the show.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Love that. But cool. Favorite comic in general.
I have two. It's Rory Scovel and Maria Bamford.
Love Maria Bamford.
Yeah.
I feel like she is so miss not enough people know who she is.
She should be the most famous comedian in the world. She's brilliant.
She's brilliant. She's hilarious. I think I don't know her. I never met her, obviously, but she seems very humble.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've met her. She's the nicest person in the world.
Beautiful.
She also does a crazy thing that there's a huge pay disparity between like very successful comedians and then the support acts, and the support acts do not make any money, like relatively. She does a thing where she gets door deals, so she makes a lot of money for her shows. She will pay her feature 1/3 of her pay.
No shit.
She'll make up the difference. So say the club pays the feature $500 for 6 shows, 5 shows for the weekend, and she gets paid, I don't know, like $6,000. I don't know I don't know how much she's gonna make, but she would make up that difference and pay that feature $1,500 additional dollars. It would be like 1/3 of what she makes.
Damn.
To just help. Yeah,
I already like Maria Bamford.
She's amazing.
You didn't have to do that.
There's a lot of comedians that like Chad Daniels will like double his openers' pays. I've opened for Trey Crowder. He doubled my pay.
Damn.
Like. Now I feel bad because now all these comics are going to be like harassing these people to like open for them. But yeah.
But I mean, no, but that's a positive thing though, because it shows like, I didn't know that about Maria. Yeah. And so that's really cool to know. Like, it's cool to know that the idea I had of her is 100% true.
Yeah.
Actually more, because I didn't expect that. She didn't have to do that.
No.
So that's cool shit. I love that.
And she's so nice.
Yes.
So nice.
Shout out Maria Bamford.
Yeah.
And I miss those Target ads.
Yeah.
She was fucking running through the Target with high heels. I'm like, that woman is insane.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So I'm going to skip some stuff. Actually, I'm going to make these actual rapid fire questions. So just give me a yes or a no.
Okay.
Could you do a 20-minute special?
Yes.
Could you do a 30-minute special?
Yes.
Could you do an hour special?
Not right now.
I love that
I
answer.
don't have the material right now. Yeah.
I
mean, I have an hour of material, but not that I would put on the special. Yeah.
Could you, so with what you have now, could you do an hour of material that's with some crowd work and like a little bit of fluff, so to speak? Like, are you ready in that capacity?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to like tape
you.
anything out there. You
I
know,
love that.
Like I'm gonna do an hour tonight for my show, but I'm gonna pull in some old jokes that might have already been recorded, and I'm gonna do crowd work. And
Got you. I love that. I love that. I might have to sneak out and see you.
Yeah, please.
See if Neff lets me in for free.
Yeah. Oh, I'll put you on the list. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on the list.
Yeah.
Do you see that? I'm on the list. Yeah, I'll check with my fiance, see if she's available, because
cool.
she'd be busy, and also she sleeps. So
yeah. No,
we don't really sleep in this business.
Yeah.
Okay. Last, we already had the heckler question. I skipped it, Brandon. We're good. Least favorite social media, favorite social media. And I want to tell the crowd that's watching, the audience, you asked me this question. I love it. You were like, do you mean like actual thing or like the actual like
platform?
With the platform itself. And I'm going to let you answer how you want to.
Yeah. So platforms, I would say I probably hate them all. But I think YouTube's the best.
Okay.
TikTok I hate the most, mainly because of who it's owned by now.
Word.
But also I hate Instagram and Facebook because Zuckerberg and all these billionaires can get fucked. But boost my stuff, please.
Please.
And then I would say my least favorite type of content is these fucking YouTube pranksters,
dude,
whatever.
So
like they just ruin, like getting millions of views, just disrupting people's lives for no reason. Like I don't think torture is okay, full stop, but I think we can make an amendment and torture YouTube pranksters.
Respect. Respect.
Favorite kind of social media content, what's in my algorithm, I love babies getting cochlear implants and hearing their mother's voice for the first time. I love dogs with soldiers coming home to war from war with their dogs' reaction. I love cops getting owned by lawyers, and I love cops owning mentally ill Karens. So like,
dude,
it's like both.
It's like heartfelt mixed with fuck you.
yeah. That's and I like cart narcs. Yeah.
Yes, that's so funny. You know, I feel like the videos that if you and I got into like we're like just sending stuff back and forth to each other would be like what my fiance sends me.
Yeah,
half of it. Only half. I'll let you guys figure out which half you think it might be.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, so speaking of social media, if I can speak, where can people find you on whatever social medias you're on? Yeah,
so it's Andrew Rudick. Dick is an easy way to think of it. On Instagram, it's
never thought about
that. Yeah. On Instagram, it's Andrew J Rudick.
Okay.
But I think on everything else, it's just Andrew Rudick. Dick. I have a website, www.andrewrudick.com.
Yep.
I'm on everything. If you Google my name, it'll pop up.
Find you.
Yeah.
Yep. He's findable.
Yeah.
He ain't hard to find.
No.
And then we said, do you remember what I said when this is coming out?
Oh, August 7th.
That's right, August 7th. So August 7th, you should be watching this right now, August 7th.
Yeah.
What do you have going on? I know you mentioned the Columbus Comedy Festival, which is great.
Yeah, so let's see here. I will be, let me pull this up, my schedule. The 21st and the 22nd, I'm headlining the Comedy Plex in Chicago, if you got any Chicago listeners.
You're in Chicago.
On the 28th, I'll be in Cincinnati headlining the Commonwealth Comedy Club. There's 2 shows.
Hell yeah.
The 29th, I'm headlining the Columbus Comedy Festival.
Yep.
Not sure the venue yet.
Stay tuned.
In September, I'll be in Asheville, September 17th to the 20th. And then I'm headlining in Minnesota, the Comedy Corner Underground, the 25th and 26th of September.
Love that. And if you're watching this and you're in Columbus, he comes back and forth a good amount. So
yeah, I'm sure I'll have some shows between them. I'm at the Columbus Funny Bone all the time.
Yeah. For those that are watching this late, he's actually going to be at the Funny Bone tomorrow, but you won't see it because it's weeks after.
The Attic tonight.
That's right. The Attic tonight. Yeah, not the Funny Bone.
Yeah.
But you'll be back at the Funny Bone, I'm sure.
100%.
I have no doubts about that.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much for taking some time to come on.
Thank
helping
you.
me run the light with Brandon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, and we'll be on set together again acting.
Yes.
And obviously, I'll see you at like every comedy club we can get.
Yes.
We can both be at.
We both have a callback today for the same commercial that we're both gonna get.
Yes, I think I'm assuming we're going for different stuff because like if you're looking at us, like this is not the same guy. Just a thought.
I don't know. I feel like we look exactly the same.
Same, twins. My mom is his mom. That's crazy mom. You said it at the beginning, so that sounds like my mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, dude. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Ira. I appreciate it. So,
shout out to everybody who has been watching and listening. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. And watch again. The podcast is great. The YouTube show is great. Boom. Yeah. Brandon is celebrating, so that's how you know it's good. Oh, I always forget to thank Rehab sometimes. Thank you, Rehab, for housing us. Thanks, Brandon. Turn the music on now.